So I want to talk about how DoorDash is now allowing people to use buy now and pay later features to order food, and I do think this is kind of telling of like the state of the credit economy. Um, so basically, what's happening is that DoorDash is partnering with Klarna, which allows you to spread out your payments over time into multiple smaller payments, and normally, I've seen this used on like clothing websites where you might spend a bit more money, but spending money, like the idea that you can't afford a full meal, so you have to break it up into smaller payments, is kind of concerning to people. Like to me, like people probably shouldn't do that if they can't just pay it all off in one payment. Besides, like ordering food from a delivery app should be considered a treat, and most of your food should probably just be bought from the grocery store and cooked at home because that's simple, healthy, and easy. Um, but yeah, let's look into this a little bit more. So, buy now, pay later services have exploded in recent years. However, many economists and consumer advocates say the widespread use of these services, plus a lack of transparency and little regulatory oversight, leaves them to wonder just how much debt Americans are actually getting into. And yeah, that is kind of what I'm talking about. Like, the average American does have a good amount of debt, and I think stuff like this is only going to make it worse. People will assume, oh, well, I'll just split up the payments. But what's going to happen is that you may not be able to pay it in the future too, and then you're going to go into even more debt. When previously, if you couldn't afford the food, you just wouldn't buy it in the first place, and at least you wouldn't take on any debt. And during last year's holiday shopping season, buy now, pay later usage hit an all-time high, raking in $18 billion in online spending. So $18 billion, now it's going to be on with DoorDash too. And buy now, pay later has boosted ticket sales by 30 to 50%. So I guess it does work. Like from the company's perspective, it makes sense to partner with Klarna because they're going to probably make more money since more people will pay for it, but it will absolutely lead to more consumer debt. And, and the report also found that the shares of households becoming increasingly delinquent on their auto loans and credit cards is at 14-year highs. So Americans already have a lot of debt, and now they're potentially going to have even more of stuff like this. And DoorDash allows you to buy like non-food items like from Best Buy and Home Depot. So you can potentially spend a lot of money with this. So yeah, that's kind of what this article is about. I'm not really a fan of this. I think if you want to order food, you should be able to pay for it all in one payment, and it should be considered a treat. Um, for the most part, I'm all about the rice and beans. At least the simple foods: rice, beans, frozen vegetables, salsa, guacamole. All of it's pretty cheap, pretty healthy. That's a decent meal right there. Now I want to look at some of these comments. This is why people are poor. Yeah, I mean, if you use pay later, if you use pay later to pay for delivered food, you should probably be cooking your own meals. Yep, exactly what I'm saying. Also, things like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau can protect against this. They have, it's like or it kind of was a government agency that would work to help fight scams and help to stop companies from taking advantage of consumers. And I believe Trump has defunded this. Donald Trump, at the outset of his second presidential term, appointed an acting director who was immediately ordered the Bureau to stop regulatory activity. And then, right after that, DoorDash now lets people use Klarna to split their food into payments. To me, that's not a good sign. To me, these things are connected. Trump having the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau not function anymore allows companies to do things like this, which exploit customers and get people even more in debt. And it's not good, folks.